basically I just wanted to check out if there are any good like jumpers, because if I'm being honest with you, wearing a shirt is nice to work and stuff, but even though it's July, I'm not gonna lie, I get cold. Like, it's still very cold in the UK. So I was just thinking, quickly just come in, see if there's anything cool, you know. Pretty much if I can get something today, that'd be amazing. If not, it's not the end of the world. And then head straight away to the gym and hit a workout. Yeah, to be honest, as expected, nothing that I really wanted. It's all good though, because now we can head to the gym. Well, to be honest, I didn't want to get anything necessarily. I kind of wanted to scout the items and stuff, so I had a look, some holiday. This is always like I don't know, it's always a fun thing to do, like just go the pre-holiday. I'm very excited. I've got about 13 days till my annual trip. In terms of like productivity today, it's gonna be a good day. Maybe not as productive this weekend as I hoped it to be, but to be honest with you, like I had a look at my to-do list and everything. I'm pretty much on track. All I really have to do is get all these videos edited. Shouldn't be too bad. Next week is going to be a pretty intense week. I'm just going to stay at home editing everything, uploading everything. This is the thing, like when you trying to balance like a full-time job and content creation, there is like a little sacrifice that comes with it, and sometimes it could be like the week in week out fun things, and maybe like, so this is the only weekend I've had that's actually pretty fun, you could say, you know. But at the same time, I'm happy to make that sacrifice, because long-term gains is where it's at. Long-term projection, long-term, just I'm doing it for the long term. All right, this is what I mean, and I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that.
Actually a ninja, a guru, or a rock star.
Okay, chapter 5 is done. It's about storytelling. He talks about this concept. It's called the Dan Harmon's story cycle, which I can go through, but actually it's pretty similar to the hero's journey. Before I touch on that, there's another thing he just spoke about, which is like, talk about yourself, you know, especially during parties, especially during gatherings and meetings. I think number one, you should always like ask other people their questions, trying to understand about them and be a good listener. But when it comes to talking about yourself, make sure it's intriguing and exciting, especially if people ask you. It's okay to talk about yourself. Never really think of it as an interrogation, but more so use it as a way to just express about you genuinely, but also it allows the other person to connect with you if they're also quite similar. So this is what it is. First of all, the character is in a zone of comfort, his normal routine. He then has like a intention, a desire, so they want something. After that, they enter an unfamiliar situation. They want to get that thing, but to get that thing, they enter this different. They're out of their comfort zone. They find a way to adapt to that environment. So they resist it, or whatever happens, they eventually adapt. Because they adapt, they get what they wanted, so they achieve that. But they might have to pay a heavy price for it. Nothing worthwhile comes easy. Then finally, when they return to their familiar situation, they have changed and they've learned something and they've grown. That is what basically the hero's journey, but Dan Harmon's story cycle. Okay, I think it just went. It's game time. So basically I'm driving to my friend's. It's about an hour away. But yeah, like to be honest with you, like I love football. Well, I did really like football. This year and last year as well, I kind of stopped watching it because I support Man United, right? If you guys know Manchester United right now, they're not in a good spell. They haven't been for like the last 10 years. But, you know, I've always liked them as a football club, and I always will continue to like them. But what I realize is, like, to be honest with you, none of it really matters. Like, they don't really care about me. So it's more like it's just like a thing now to me, like, oh cool, I'll just watch it, and it's a good way to like interact with friends and stuff like that. But realistically, I just feel, this might sound very pessimistic and boring to some of you. I just feel like because on this like growth journey, this grind, the 9-to-5 hustle, whatever, I feel like it's just become so important to me that a lot of the other things that I used to like aren't as important to me anymore. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, Football, for example, I used to I used to go to games not even that long ago with my friend. We used to just travel from London to Manchester, buy the tickets, wait every Friday to try and get some tickets, watch the games every single day. I used to watch this YouTuber called Mark Goldbridge, if you know, you know. So I mean, maybe here and there I might check a game or whatever, but this year I've barely watched anything. So that's the reason. For me, football was more like a socializing event, just to meet up with friends and stuff like that. So that's why I'm actually for this game. I mean, this one is a big one because England haven't gotten to a final in a very, very long time. And this, this could be history today. I'm actually just gonna go watch it in my friend's house. We're gonna have fun. Like, I actually have not watched much of the Euros. The only games I've watched were 2 games. Like, I really couldn't care. Even those games, I only watched like one half each. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's not the same anymore for me. I feel like I'm just so invested. Maybe when I get so obsessed with something, I'm really into it. And I think that's not a bad thing because I'm channeling it into like growth, and then like I've got a clear defined purpose, a clear defined goal. By the end of this quarter, I want to be the best. Like, I genuinely want to be the best, and I want to be super influential because that's how I was in my last workplace. And to be honest, like, I miss that feeling. I miss just being on top of things. And this one is like a brand new challenge, right? It's a brand new set of people, brand new environment, brand new tasks. So I want to show you that I can do it from scratch again. And it's not just showing you, it's just also hopefully inspiring some of you, because if I can do it, you can do it. Like, all it is just hard work. That's all it is. Being extremely disciplined, being extremely organized in what you have to do every single day. Regardless of the situations that you face, you just show up for yourself and you do your very best. And like, you actually do your very best. You try so hard and you keep doing it and you become consistent. And honestly, the one thing I learned from my old place is that it was never an overnight thing. It took time, and most of the time when I put effort in, nothing would happen. It was like you work, nothing. And you work, nothing. And you keep doing some more work. Boom, something just clicks and everything just starts hitting. Like, it takes time, but when it hits, it hits. To be honest with you, like, even football, like at this stage, if I just watch like 90 minutes of a normal football game, like every week or whatever, I feel a bit unproductive and I kind of feel guilty. I know I could be utilizing that time elsewhere. Like I said before, for me, football is just a way to socialize with my friends, connect with them, like, more. That is it. To be honest, the real underlying reason isn't actually football itself, isn't actually watching the games, and it's actually just sharing the enjoyment, sharing maybe the passion, the funny moments, the good moments, the bad moments, but with someone that you really respect and you really like, and your friendship group or your friends or whatever. That is actually why I'd say I watch football, to be honest with you. And that was it. That was it. It was a loss to England. To be honest with you, if I'm being deadly serious, Spain throughout the whole tournament were the best team. It's sad because we were so close again. Every time, last time it was in the Euros, we lost to Italy, we were very close. This time it's to Spain. We just don't seem to have that edge to take us to that win. But now, well done to Spain. To be fair, Spain all tournament were the best team. It is 10:28 p.m. I've got work tomorrow. By the time I get home, it'll probably be close to 11:30 p.m. We're still doing training, so it's not too bad. It's been 2 weeks we've completed. We're on the 3rd week of my new job. I'm enjoying it so far. I do miss my old colleagues, to be honest. It's kind of gone less. Obviously, the first week I really did miss that vibe because it was a big change. Second week is slightly less, but it's still there. As the weeks go on, it just kind of dilutes down and eventually it's fine. But what I miss really is just like the familiar faces and the vibe and the banter that we had, and like, it was fun. I love the work I'm doing right now. I love the job. I love the progression, the opportunities. All of that is amazing. So that's why like I actually moved. The one thing I actually wanted to talk about specifically, and that's basically putting in effort, because sometimes each day can be repetitive, especially in sales, because you have to wake up, you have to do the same kind of tasks every single day. You have to go through a lot of like rejections and whatever. There's like it literally can be the same thing every day. And to be honest with you, it's not just sales. In most jobs, it can be like that. Especially when you're in an office kind of setting, you can just feel like you're going through each day. And the worst thing I'd say about that is if you feel like that, but you're not getting much done, in the sense that you may feel like each day is the same. The trick to not feeling like that is actually having a long-term goal in mind, a long-term vision, a long-term plan. For me, what that long-term vision or that plan looks like is I want to be the top of my game. Like I want to be in the top 1%, right? I want to be in the top 1%, the leader of the top 1%, that kind of thing, right? So like very ambitious, but I like ambitious goals. I also want opportunities, like for example, I would love to go live abroad for a year or two, especially in my 20s, because what I learned actually living alone in Canada in that 10-day period I had, I genuinely enjoyed that whole thing, right? That was amazing. And the only reason I got that opportunity is because they recognized me as a top performer, and I got to experience that. Taking yourself out the perspective of every day feels the same, take that away, but actually just go in each day and attack each day, because you have an outcome, you have an end goal in mind, and it's a bigger goal, right? So for me, by the end of September would mark my first 3 months at this company, and I want to see big progress. I want to be up there as one of the best. I want to be smashing numbers. I want to be hitting every single thing that I'm supposed to be doing. I want to be consistent with the gym, keep going to the gym every single time, every day, keep pushing, keep reading, keep understanding, keep expanding my knowledge, keep speaking to people that are also very passionate about the things I'm passionate about, that want self-development and personal growth. Do all these things, because that's what molds you and that's what shapes you into the person that you really want to be. That's what I want.